Okay, now we come to the Greeks, and in this scenario the Greeks have something particularly special, which is Pyrrhus. Now, the handling of Pyrrhus is kind of strangely worded. He begins the game by having drawn the Soldier of Fortune card before play starts. It's also paid 1T for the activation, huh? What activation? My next one? Because I can use the Soldier of Fortune in any activation. So that's my assumption, is that I get a free activation if I use him on my first move. That sounds worthwhile. He's powerful. Remove the card from the deck and set it up as stated below. Well, it's not really removed from the deck because it will come back in. Otherwise, we'd never have another Soldier of Fortune on the board. So I think that is poorly stated, but I think you understand how I'm going to play it. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to give them the card. See the details about what he may and may not do. Well, essentially, he can be used sort of as a Greek force. In fact, what he captures becomes Greek. Now, he's got a little problem. He's got to sail across to get anywhere. And I don't think he can stack with those units. I was looking up the naval movement rules. I had already looked this up. Something about 12.4. Can use him as his own, but see 12.44, it's treated like one of his armies. It can't pick things up, it can't attack with them, it can move through them, and it may stack with them. Okay, cool. I think what I'm going to do then is try to make this landing and attack the Romans in the south here. But if I get a lot of movement, maybe I'll cut them off and swing over here. Maybe I better know the line of communication rules. Well, it looks like as long as I maintain access to a port, I'm okay. But I think this may be my safest route in. See, I don't want to end up stuck here and cut off through territory. And I don't have any easy way to garrison stuff with this force. I could do minor moves to shift forces into place, etc. Of course, I could have break down, I think, Greek garrisons. I'm not sure. That doesn't seem... See, that seems like I'd be creating units out of his forces that go away, and that bugs me in a lot of ways. Alright, so I want to use him, and I don't want to go take Dalmatia. I have to deal with these Romans. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my movement. Grab. Yeah, I got my dice over there. I don't want to reach him. I've got a +4 to my movement, so I got a lot of points. I got like 9 movement points. That's a decent amount. Do I want to take this thing on? It's only 15 strength points, and I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm really not that much bigger. I think I'm better off trying to go around. But here's the problem. I'm going to be using C movement. So I spend 1 movement point. Boom, boom. That's loading up. And you see I'm using all these little C movement. That's fine. There's no problem because there are no Roman boats or anyone else's around that can really interfere with me. Now I go here and I stop. And this is where the problem is. I have to make a roll to see if I can continue. And continuation according to here is I need a 2 through 7. I have a leader. That gives me -1. So I need a 2 through 8 essentially. I can restart my movement. Okay? That doesn't cost me any extra movement. It's just there's a risk whenever you do naval movement that you get stuck trying to cross sea zones, even these light blue ones. These bigger ones, there's a serious problem if you can't continue through. So now I'm going to land here. Alright. Well, wait. There's an interception possibility there if I actually land there. Sure, I'm going to land there. Now I got to worry about an interception possibility. Alright, well, Well, I'm not going to bother looking that up. The Romans definitely do not want to intercept there. So I'm going in. It's one more movement point to debark. 2 to attack this space. Okay. Now that I've gotten here, and here's the thing, if I get to Naples, then I'm kind of connected here. But I'm causing problems to Rome. Now I'm going to fight this little battle. That should be pretty easy. There ain't a lot there. So I have a +8 total, 7-to-1 odds, a leader. Nobody's going to bid on this thing. I roll the dice, and my first goal is I don't want to take this damage. So I'm spending 3 of my 8 on that. I'm at 0%. I'm not going to take any hurts. He's at, that gives me 5 extra. That would be 110%. He's at 100%. Well, he can't even take that. All he takes is a -1. But I've just captured that town as my major move. Now, I still have more actions possibly remaining. I'd like to keep going into Rome. Am I going to sack this town? No. I'm not going to risk it because that could stop me. Sacking Rome might be worthwhile, though. However, yeah, I'm able to rebuild even after the points. So things are looking really risky for the Romans here. We'll see. The attack on Rome was at +4 only. It's the die roll. 2 of them to remove any loss from myself. That gets me to 80%. 80% of 5 is going to be at least 2. So Rome has fallen as well. Now I may want to sack that, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to go for the sacking. I need a 5 or 6 to succeed here. I don't have any mercenaries. Oh, wait. There's something special about Soldiers of Fortune, I think. Hold on. No, that doesn't seem to be the case. Alright. And I get a 1. That means I'm not going to be able to. So now I've still got 3 movement points. I can march up and take this last town up here. That's kind of out of the way. The Romans could quite possibly take Rome back. But I think we'll go for that. 1, 2, 3. Now I cannot be isolated if I'm in a city or town, which is kind of the useful thing here. And we'll fight this one out. That's going to be again at like +8. Nobody's going to spend on that. And that finishes them off as well. You know, trying to keep track of everything with these counters is useless. Especially on this track that's works this way. But I'm just going to have to recount. I am unable to do it. I get a sack attempt there. I've used all my movement, so I might as well. That's a failure. The other thing is I've actually taken the province of Italy away from Rome. So they have one. I can't get my colors correct. And that's part of what happened is I've got too many damn counters. I can't keep track of everything on here. Apparently there's some player aid cards where each player has their own little sheet that are online at Board Game Geek, and I was also told those might be included in the new release. Definitely a useful thing comparatively. It's not a big footprint game. The extra things would fit on most gaming table situations. You can keep your troops with it or whatever as well. Alright. That was my major move. Now I've got minor moves. Now I can spend some of my bucks, and I definitely want to upgrade these suckers. And that's going to cost me a quick $3 and my 2 other actions. There might be other things I want to do at this point, but I need to build up my defenses and make it tougher for the Romans to just take back what I took. I expended some effort to get these. I expect them to take some pain getting them back. On the other hand, this kind of sucks because I wanted to withdraw at least this garrison from the east and maybe pick up these galleys on the way. to try to signal to the east player, hey, I'm withdrawing, throw myself into some place like Lycia, which would give me control of that and extra money and power from that, and kind of offer this compromise that I'm actually willing to offer of, hey, you can have Cilicia or whatever. But I think it's more important to spend the money and build these defenses. This one's the iffy one. The Romans can take that back pretty easily. Indeed, if I had thought a little more carefully about where I would likely end up, I probably would have burned this town completely to the ground, gotten it off the board, and just kept Rome itself as being so important a city that I wanted the defenses for that. Alternatively, instead of going up here, I could stay here where I'd have a good chance of being intercepted. None of those are the case, though. All right. Well, we're on to Carthage, it looks like. Okay, so we jump into Carthage's turn, and they draw a play when drawn card. Revenues and stability. If you have less than 3 talents in your treasury, you lose some stability. If you have more than 12, you add 1. I think this only affects them. They have more than 12, 13 actually. I don't know if you could see it there. I couldn't. But that is more than 12. So they get a bonus point of stability, which is just a good thing. Stability is an important factor. It helps you buy the OOPs, if nothing else. Now I got to figure out what to do with Carthage. I don't want to build troops if I can help it. I've got some decent forces here, I think. Well, their army is awfully small. I was looking at an attack in Sicily, but I just don't feel potent. Yep, my mistake there. They don't actually get that stability because they had to pay 1 for the activation, which puts them to 12, which is no longer above 12. So, yeah, they ended up getting screwed slightly. So I wound up buying myself 4 heavy infantry down here in Tingi. That's all part of my home territory, so I don't even need anything there to own it. So that's mine. Planning on an invasion of Spain. When I started looking at that, cost me $8. That would be 12, 6 more heavies. I have less than 20 points of strength, basically. Gathering everything, I could probably get 2-to-1 odds here, but as of right now, I just don't think that I can take Sicily, Syracuse in particular, and Messina doesn't do me any good to take because I have to own more than half to get ownership. So the city would be valuable, or both of these would be valuable, but just one doesn't help me at all. Unless Melita is part of Sicily. Not sure. It may be. I may be able to take this and Melita and get a buck off it. Anyhow, I've committed to moving this way. There's a lot of valuable stuff up here if I can win a fight against the tribes. But it does mean I'm going to have to slide a leader over there. I think I can do that as a minor move. I'm not sure what I'd do as my major move in that case, though. Okay, and now we're up to the East's first turn, and they get this big stack. That's 4 heavy infantry. Let's see, I've got it here. 6 heavy infantry, 4 light, 2 cav, which I don't think I put in, 3 elephants, and Seleucus as a 2-6. I don't think I put any cav in, though. Gotta use singular cav there. That's a pretty big force. Now, I've got some counters that, I got these Army A, Army B counters. Unfortunately, again, there's no place to put A's and B's because they didn't include play aids in this original. From what I understand, we're only like 23 away from reaching P500. GMT lies, though. I mean, not lies, but I don't think they really respect P500. I think they spoke that it's 750. It's not really a 500. So you're not making the cut at 500 if I'm correct there. Maybe that was MMP, but I think it was that. They also get $10 because they are going to activate that unit. I'm planning on swinging through and attacking the Greeks. Some debate there. I basically rolled a die. Do I want to go after the Greeks, who are kind of pressed right now, or do I want to go after Ptolemy, who will be a thorn in my side if I'm not careful, I think. We'll see. Oh man, I missed this in my naval transport. I'm trying to see. The garrison gets destroyed by these guys moving in there. They walked here. The garrison's just destroyed. It has no chance to withdraw. I was thinking, ooh, he could just run back there. Nah, he's just gone. But now I'm trying to see what happens to this naval unit. And I can't find anything about it. It seems like they can be in non-friendly ports. I think they probably are ignored. They're at sea. The other things not. But I noticed this naval disaster. When you go to a small circle, there's a chance, a 1 in 6 chance of being blown off course and immediately stopping. Now this is weird because whenever you enter, that's what it is. It's very easy to travel these. There was no real risk of traveling across there. There was no chance of getting stopped there. And it's not too terrible if you get caught there. If you fail continuity on a deep sea, you're destroyed. But if you don't, if it's on a regular sea dot, you end up just having to go home at the end of the turn, essentially, which is no big deal at all. Alright, well, I'll keep moving him. I've already moved a couple of movement points. He's got 8 more to go, though, and he's going to move in and try to grab some of this territory up here. He doesn't have boats, so this is the best he can do. But he's bringing a big enough force that he's a real threat to the Greeks, I think. And now the Easterners have finished their move. They've moved through, grabbed Cilicia and Lycia, but now they're kind of at this kind of tricky point. If they want to march through, they could make it into Ionia here and start fighting the Greeks directly. Or they have the option of going for Pergamum, which might be riskier. They also have left kind of an opening here in Asia Minor. Of course, they have a leader that they dropped off on the way. They did one minor move to shift a guy up from Jerusalem up into Syria, just to provide them with a little bit more strength in that general area. They're really, and mainly to not lose a unit if the Egyptians attack Judea. They're really weak on that side of things. We'll see who the next player is. I'm going to load this one up. And I don't know, it's getting kind of interesting. The Greeks taking over the center of Italy. That's a problem for Rome, but they've got their own problem pushing this way. Carthage kind of stuck right now. They're trying to build things so they can go somewhere. The other option was, of course, I used all my movement. Had I not used my last movement, I could have broken down into garrisons here and used a minor move to build a town there and some cash. That might have been a wise idea, but I want to strike fast and hard. I want to use my big point ability to take things over, and I'll repair towns as I go. There aren't a lot of Greek towns here, though. Just the one here. That's Sardis. Oops. Sorry about that. Trying to zoom in because some people really like that better, I think. So yeah, I'm not sure which way this is going to go, because there is still a decent sized Greek army here in Athens. Not something that can face Seleucid, though, with his force. So this could be an attempt to knock the Greeks out. See how well that works. I don't know, if that's possible in this game. All right, up it goes.